I thought we agreed to try.
Yes. Go ahead. Where were we? Oh, I went too far. Okay, hello everyone. Hey. 안녕하세요. Let's continue then.
我怎么可以舍得了这么世界上这么好的东西啊？出家太苦喽，不出家。
How could I let go such good worldly stuff? There are too much suffering leaving the home life. I won't leave the home life.
Can you back up? So he says, so the nephew of this defense minister was unhappy. His first reaction is that I'm really part of the elite. I have a life of nobility. So I get to enjoy a lot of refined worldly stuff. Of course, we don't have an idea what it means, but to him it's clear. He was born into nobility and he gets to enjoy all the privileges and advantages of the lives of a noble. And that's why he really likes it. He really likes all these amenities, all these privileges, all these advantages. That's what he means by why would I want to let go of all the worldly stuff? On the other hand, you look at outside the palace doors, you see too much suffering. And living the home life is even worse. Living the home life is to renounce all of this. Okay. It's interesting that he brought it out. He brought out something so fundamental that we all that really is applicable to us. We all work so hard in order to gain these materials, things, these privileges. I'm told by one of my disciples who says, I enjoy it every now and then jumping on an airplane with my wife and go have a delicacy far away and then come back. And that's part of his enjoying the success in life. Of course, because of that, he doesn't have time to come to the temple. So it's a case of someone who's so busy enjoying the amenities of life. So you can imagine that this nephew here of the defense minister, who has been enjoying all these things his entire life, maybe to make up for those thousands of years, or that he didn't get to eat anything or drink anything of substance. So life somehow have a way of compensating itself. So he enjoys this, and so he says, "There's no way I can see myself letting go of all these wonderful things in life." Okay, and to us, the Buddhists, it's a reaffirmation again that all these things in life, material things in life, that you are so enamored with, that makes you so-called so happy, actually are the ones that make you very unhappy. Can you see the point here? He enjoyed them too much every day, regularly, that now he's faced with the fact that he's going to have to abandon all that. He's extremely unhappy. It's right there. Right there is the message. Whatever worldly things you have, whatever enjoyment you have, is temporary. Okay? And eventually will make you miserable when you cannot enjoy them anymore. Whether it's because you shave your head, whether you're sick, whether it's because you lose all your money. You know, back then, a defense minister may be part of nobility, but they only serve at the emperor's pleasure. So the emperor, when the emperor changes his mind, he suffers some sort of defeat or failure at his work. He could lose his position, be exiled, and lose all his privileges, just like that. Okay, and that exemplifies the nature of the joys and pleasures in our lives. Questions or comments? I told you. Hey, Internet, I told you. Part of cultivation is to resist that slumping and slouching. Because people are watching you. When it's dark, no one notices you, fine. But it's only 1 hour now that you need to pretend that you have some sort of kung fu, for God's sake. If you can't even do that, how can you even sit for 2 hours? It's not so much for yourself, it's do it for the sake of others. Yes, you're tired. Yes, you're horribly bored. But you're doing this not for yourself. Yes, question over there to the right-hand side. Red.
I noticed with the pandemic and the lockdown, you kind of limited a lot of freedoms that we normally had in the past of going out, restricting, eating at restaurants and things like that. And I could feel just this general sort of kind of depression in the air because of it. People couldn't do what they wanted to do. People seemed really stirred up and anxious, and I even myself felt that way too. But I can imagine that's just a small example of this.
Yes, absolutely. That's another great example right there. And nowadays we have this pandemic here, and people have been cooped up in their homes for 2 months now or more. And for us, the idea of being forced to do something is totally unacceptable. By the way, as a side comment before I forget, just for men to control women or women to control men, vice versa, is something that would never work because it only builds resentment. Eventually, there will be a revolution. It's a matter of time. Okay, so again, you see, it's not what we're experiencing there in this being cooped up at home is a lot less than the pressure from this in family. But the fact that we have to be at home and we can't go out, we can't stand it. so that we can't wait to get out. To the point where now that we are allowed to do that, not necessarily because for scientific reasons or the voice of wisdom, but because the pressure, economic pressure from the donors to the governors and to the mayors and to the politicians. Okay? These rich people, they are isolating themselves in, I heard New Zealand, they have some sort of $12 million for 3 months kind of thing where you're safe, guaranteed. And it's restricted to only 9 elite members only. Did you hear that? So these people, what do they care if you reopen their corporations or not? They're not going to be there. Okay? So that's why there's this a lot of pressure on the politicians to reopen it prematurely, I might say, since there's still a lot of unanswered questions, still high risk for the population. And that's what's happening right now. There's a spike in half of the countries, almost half of the states of the country are having a spike in infection rates. Okay, so we are rushing out, and we don't mind because we cooped up, we go crazy, so we just we all have this sigh of relief to rush out of the house and can't wait to do things. Okay? Even knowing full well that we risk our lives doing that. Okay, and so when you think about it, it's sad to just be a pond for others. And we call it, what is it? Freedom? But for us, personally, from our temple, we don't worry about the virus, and we know that it cannot harm us, so it doesn't affect us. So we may be poor, but we don't feel threatened by that. Simply accord with the conditions. Any other comments? Questions? Yes, sir. Orange.
Throughout the story of this
Pink.
venerable speaker, he Kung Fu is that level, but when he voluntarily reincarnation to help to spread the Buddhism, but he forget, he enjoy the life. So that's why remind me that we have to reborn in the Pure Land. Because hard to reach his level, but he forget it, and he enjoy the Sara world. So the nature of this Sara world make people always like that. That's why remind us how to vow to reborn in Amitabha world, to continue to liberate ourselves and not live it being.
I don't get the point. Why does he have to go to the Pure Land? It's not
Because
available back then.
When no one remind him, he reincarnated, he become a young man, and now he enjoy the life of the minister family.
Yeah.
He forget he proposed.
Yeah, and that's so. What in essence, the old monk is saying that he, to paraphrase him, that he, the way that this was done to force his young nephew here is not a good way. Xuan Zhang is just too, shall we say, that word, Chinese. Just kidding. Okay. But the story here is kind of interesting for Kuei Ji, this gentleman here, this young nephew here. For him, you continue the story, is very interesting. It has a lot of meaning, actually. That sort of tells you what kind of person he really is. Do not be fooled by the appearances. He's a bodhisattva, and so they have their own reasons of doing things that we mortals cannot understand. Yeah. On the surface, for example, he sat and he overshot Shakyamuni Buddha's thing. Personally, I wasn't there, but personally, I doubt it. Okay? A person at his level, he can sit for thousands of years. I can't. You can sit for thousands of years. You will not overshoot, let me tell you. I don't believe so. Okay? It's not possible. So, again, when you listen to these stories, there's actually more going on that Master YongHua is not telling you, because I think the Chinese want to keep it a Chinese secret, So just think about it. How can a person who can sit for 1,000 years without food, without drinks, without sleeping, or whatever, okay, without moving, without going to the bathroom? I can't imagine. Okay? And he, for that kind of skill level, and then miss the fact that Shakyamuni Buddha came to the world, that's impossible to me. It ain't gonna happen. If I'm gonna sit, if I were him, I want to sit for, if I'm able to sit for thousands of years, okay, I would put an alarm clock in my head. I said, well, Shakyamuni Buddha is about, that range right now. I should double check, okay? It's not that impossible to do. And yet, this guy missed Shakyamuni Buddha's coming to the world by how many years? By 1,000 years. Think about it. The guy is so bad. I can see a few days, few weeks, few months, but not 1,000 years. I mean, the guy is so incompetent, really. If he were the case, if I were Srinzang, I'd say, no. Go back into your samadhi, okay? We don't want incompetent people spreading Mahayana. Do you agree? We have our standards, like sitting, like not. When I lecture, you see me doing this. We have our standards of sitting as well. I don't go here and say, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen." So you can't. You listen to these stories of bodhisattvas. Do not jump to conclusion. Just listen for fun, okay? It's just like when I look at my master, I love his teachings, that I read from his books. But then when I look at all those principles and I saw, for example, he says, we are left home people, and we leave the home life and detach from emotional attachments. Yes? We all hear that, right? So fundamental. And then one of his favorite early disciples is Heng Dao, okay? Who used to be a TV personality in Hong Kong. Do we have any Hong Kong people here today or online? Okay? And so she's very, very attractive and very smart. And she translated, I believe she translated the Lotus Sutra, Dharma Flower Sutra for him, or transcribed it in Chinese. She's very competent. She opened her spiritual eye. She can see a lot of things. But one day she is unhappy, and she became unhappy because she wants more spiritual powers. And Master YongHua refused to teach her. Okay, and so she quit to went to Sai Baba, his contemporary in India, to learn about spiritual powers. That poor woman clearly wasn't enlightened, wasn't even an arhat. That's why she's easily conned by a little con man, okay, in India, who conned everyone, conned the whole entire world with his so-called spiritual powers, which is a bunch of balonies. So she left, and Master YongHua went on publicly, and he says, more or less, I'm paraphrasing him, my favorite daughter has left me, and he cried. See, you're smiling, sir. You can tell it's not for real, right? I mean, come on. Have some decorum, you know? I said, we are great Dharma masters. We don't cry. But he cried. Real tears came down his face and said, you know, I miss her. She can come back to me anytime. I listened to that story and said, whoa, wait a minute. This is not like him. You know, someone lied to me, or he lied to me in his teachings. My point being that the bodhisattvas teach you is one thing, but when they do something is another thing. So don't be horribly attached to it. They have their own reasons. That's way beyond our comprehension. Okay? Yeah. All right. Anything else? Continue.
不出家，玄奘法师又去找皇帝去了，说皇帝。
Since he refuses to live the home life, Dharma Master Xuanzang went to look for the emperor for help again, and said,
陛下，你要帮我的忙，因为佛教现在在这个中国当兴呢。这个他前生是个老修行。
Your Highness, you need to help me, because Buddhism is now popular in China. In his previous life, he was an old cultivator.
And you see, again, the language here is Master YongHua's words. But you, again, can you see a monk going to see the emperor and say, you know, you need to help me? It's the wrong way of addressing an emperor, I would say. Okay. Just listen for fun. Don't take it literally. Okay?
我叫他来托生的，那么现在他迷了，他不出家了，你得要下一道诏书啊，叫他奉。
I told him to be born here. Then now he is confused. He doesn't want to live the home life. You need to give an imperial edict.
禁止出家，如果他不出家，就得杀了他。啊，你这么样子，他就要出家了。
Telling him to live the home life by imperial edict. If he doesn't, then kill him. If you do this, then he will have to live the home life.
你看，啊，那时候皇帝是在那个君主时代的时候，皇帝那是说话谁也不可以不听的。
You see, the emperor at that time, the emperor at the time of monarch, the emperor's words, everybody must listen.
于是乎啊，他就下了一道诏书，叫这个尉迟，是有人来。看一下。叫这个尉迟恭这个侄子啊，跟着玄奘法师去出家。
Thus, he made an imperial edict, told Yu Chigong's nephew to follow Dharma master Xuanzang to leave the home life. 尉迟恭的儿子说：“啊，皇帝叫我出家，好，我去和皇帝要讲条件。” Yu Chigong's nephew said, "Oh, the emperor told me to leave the home life. Okay, I will go and discuss conditions with the emperor."
这个条件讲好了，我才出家，不合乎条件我是不出家的。
If the conditions are settled, then I will leave the home life. If not, I will not.
于是乎就去向皇帝讲条件去。看戏，多看戏 ，OK， 对。好，究竟怎么讲这个条件呢？等一等再讲。
So he went to look for the emperor to discuss conditions. Exactly how to discuss the conditions, we will talk about that later. 唐玄奘请唐太宗下诏书的时候，已经对唐太宗就说过，说是when Tang Xuanzang asked Tang Taizong to give an imperial edict, he already told Tang Taizong,
For you Chinese people, Chinese-speaking people, is there any reason why Master YongHua would say Tang Xuanzang, not just like Dharma Master Xuanzang? Is there a reason for that way of addressing him or calling him like that? Anyone knows? Okay.
我相信这一道诏书下给尉迟恭，他的侄子会来呀。
I believe when this edict is given to Yu Chigong's nephew, he will come.
向皇帝来要求条件，他出家的条件。
And request conditions with the emperor, his conditions to leave the home life.
但是无论他要求什么条件，你都可以答应他。 答应他所要求的条件。
But no matter what conditions he requests, you can agree with him. Just agree to all the conditions he requests. 于是乎，尉迟恭这个侄子就去见了皇帝，说本来我不愿意出家。 Thus, Yu Chigong's nephew went to see the emperor and said, "Originally, I'm unwilling to leave the home life.
Fundamentally, I'm unwilling to leave the home life because he's a playboy, a Chinese playboy, you will.
那么皇帝一定叫我出家，我就不敢不出家。
But your highness told me that I must. I dare not to not leave the home life.
我出家，出家可是出家，请求皇帝呀答应我3个条件。
I can leave the home life. Although leaving the home life, I request your highness to agree to 3 conditions of mine.
皇帝说：“哦，你要出家，不要说3个，30个我也答应你。你说你这个条件吧。”
The emperor said, "Oh, you want to leave the home life? Don't say 3, even 30. I will allow you. You just say your conditions."
他说我这个条件，第一个条件，出家人不准喝酒的，但是我出家之后啊，我不能戒酒。
He said, "My conditions. First condition, left home people are not allowed to drink alcohol, but after I leave the home life, I can't give up wine."
这个酒啊，一定要跟着我，我走到什么地方必须。
This wine must follow me wherever I go. 必须要有
要用这个4个马装着1车酒，最好的美酒在我后边跟着我。
I must have 4 horses with a quart of wine, the best wine to follow behind me. Follow me.
这是第一个条件。那么，皇帝，你可以答应我吗？
This is the first condition. Your Highness, will you agree?
皇帝一想，本来不想答应他这个喝酒的这个条件，因为
The emperor thought about it. Originally, didn't want to agree to his drinking condition.
佛教里5戒就是戒酒，但是这个玄奘法师又预先告诉他。
Because the 5 precepts in Buddhism have no drinking precept, but Dharma Master Xuanzang has told him in advance.
他无论要求什么条件的，答应他。
Whatever conditions he requests to allow him.
皇帝因为相信这个玄奘法师所说的话，也是说。
Because the emperor believes Dharma Master Xuanzang's word, thus said,
可以，你这个是例外，我可以答应你，不要愁你这个喝酒。
Okay, you're an exemption. I can allow you. You don't. Don't need to worry about your drinking. 那个皇帝，因为相信玄奘法师所说的话，所以他就答应他。 That emperor, because he believes in Dharma Master Xuanzang's word, thus he agreed with him.
他可以，你这是特别的，与众不同，所以我答应你带着酒，你可以喝酒。
Said, okay, you are a special case, different from others, so I allow you to carry wine. You can drink.
这尉迟恭这个侄子，这第一个条件，因为皇帝不应承他，他就不出。
This Yu Chigong's nephew, this first condition, thought the emperor would not agree with him.
呀，谁不知应承了，答应他。
Then he won't have to leave the home life. But then who knows? The emperor agreed, allowed him.
Who could know?
Who could know the emperor agreed?
The emperor would agree.
他就说第二个条件，皇帝问他，你第二个条件是什么？
Allowed him. Then he said, second condition. The emperor asked him, what is your second condition?
他说我第二个条件，因为我最欢喜吃肉。出家人呢，应该吃斋，不吃肉。
He said, my second condition, because I like eating meat the most. Left-home people should be eating vegetarian diet, no meat.
我啊，因为生到这个武将的家庭，这个小武的人呢，一定要吃肉。
But for me, because I was born in this defense minister's family, the people who practice martial arts must eat meat.
我出家之后啊，我要有一车肉跟着我，这个肉啊，要新鲜的肉，不能 一天都不能隔。
Then, after I leave the home life, I want to have a cart of meat following me. This meat needs to be fresh meat. Cannot be 1 day old.
Again, this is a quick comment here. In Buddhism,
在佛教
you can eat meat according to the Hinayana tradition. Yes, there's some reason, there are conditions for the meat. As long as the meat is pure, you can eat it. So-called pure. So the meat or the fish or whatever meets the condition of purity, then you can eat it. And that's why you have people in Hinayana, many Hinayana monks, even the Dalai Lama. I heard he went to a Jewish family and enjoyed their Jewish delicacies, which is a great honor, by the way, for a Jewish family to invite you, a non-Jewish person, to enjoy, to break bread with them is really, really a big deal. It's a really great honor. It happened to me once. So in my early life, mind you, the fish is excellent. Anyway, so I heard that even the Dalai Lama went to a Jewish family and enjoyed the meal tremendously. And I can see why. I can understand why. But one of the points that needs to be stressed here is that this Guiji guy, this nephew here, is destined to do great things. Okay, so that's why he's in order to do that, you don't want to drink wine. First condition. Second condition, you don't want, and you definitely want to be vegetarian. That's one of the important lessons. Okay? And if you become a left-home person and you can't even do those things, then you can't really do much at all. Go on.
这一车肉啊，因为当时也没有什么冰箱，回来就用一块冰啊装到一。
This one cart of meat, because at that time there was no such thing as a refrigerator, or just use a piece of ice.
一个箱子里头，这就叫冰箱。所以必须要新鲜的肉，每一天都要换新鲜的。
Put it in a box. This is called a refrigerator. So, must have fresh meat. Need to change every day. Change to fresh ones.
我一定要有一天够我吃的肉，这才可以。放在一个车上，这个箱。
Why does he need the whole cart? Does anyone have any ideas? All you carnivores, you must probably know why. Why does he need the entire cart? This is a supply for 1 day, a supply of meat for 1 day. Why does he need? I knew someone was going to know. Yes, sir. Give him a microphone, please. Black.
From personal experience, kidding. When you keep it on the bone, even though if it's like a large pieces of meat, but it's on the bone, it tastes better.
With the bone, it tastes better?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then
I
you
didn't
cook
know
it.
that. Thank you for the information. It's so It's so interesting. So you want to keep the bones of the meat before, and then you debone it before you
Cook it together and tastes better.
Ah, so you cook it together with the bone.
Yes, but remember that the pieces are huge, so the bigger the card, the better the meat quality.
Wow, that's new to me. Interesting. Thank you for that piece of information. Any other reason you think? I thought about it. I thought, why would he require a card? That bothered me. I couldn't figure out until tonight. Yes, over there, the young lady. You look better, by the way, like perky, you know. Maybe the pandemic, being cooped up, has been good for you.
Yes.
There
Yes.
you go. I'm glad to hear it. Yes. What do you think? Why do you think he would require a card of meat?
I think he might be getting ready to do some entertaining.
Entertaining.
He's not going to be alone.
I buy that. I didn't think of that. Thank you. Well, you guys are so creative. This is fantastic. Like he says, maybe I've invited some Hinayana masters over, some Tibetan masters over, you know? Agreed. Anyone else? 5 fingers. Yes?
Because he doesn't know which part of the beef he wants for the day.
He doesn't want which part of the beef he wants. This is speaking from experience. I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know it's going to be like the ribs, or I'm going to be like a ribeye or a filet or whatever, you know. That's right. That's right. That's what I thought of. I said, it bothered me because I was thinking from a baker's perspective. Okay? You know, you're so happy that, you know, that you have a piece of meat to eat. And that's luxury. This guy here, he has many pieces of meat to choose from every day. So waste is built in, my friends. That's part of the pleasures of life, is to waste the meat. Isn't that cool? So we think of it as going to a restaurant, and the best restaurant, and pay an arm and leg for a fantastic beef steak, okay? A steak. Beef steak is French, sorry. A steak. But for these people, for these nobilities, they get, you know, presented the whole table, and they eat just a little bit, and then go away. That's why he requires a full cart of meat. Isn't that cool? What a life. Now you can appreciate why he's fighting for his glorious life. I don't want to give this up. Are you kidding me? Name how many people can do what I had. Name people who can have what I have. I waste a whole cart of meat every day. Okay, I go and shoot a deer, just eat one piece of, you know, of meat, and toss it away. Isn't that cool? It's different times. Go on, please. Very being creative, very good, yeah.
有一天够我吃的肉，这才可以。放在一个车上，车上呢，这个箱子里头放了很多冰，我把它这个肉放在这个箱子里头。
That's it? That's it. We have no more. So I think we need to load the next file.
It's loading right now.
Ah, okay. All right. Very good.
Page 3, page 3. inside this box, put lots of ice, and then put this meat in this box.
好，你想出，你这个这么馋啊，连肉都放不下。
Once the emperor heard, you are so gluttonous, can't even let go of meat.
Again, one thing I'm curious about. You folks love steaks, right? I used to love it. No, you don't like steaks? Oh, yes, boring. It's nothing more juicy, more delicious than a good piece of steak. And we raise the best beef in this country too. Oh, I feel for this poor nephew. So enjoyable. It's just, that's one of the flavors that we don't have when you become vegetarian. It really sucks. It's nothing. All these plant-based beef or whatever, yuck. Sacrifices we have to make. Go on, please.
不过玄奘法师早就叫他答应他了，说也可以。对第二个条件我也答应你。
But Dharma Master Xuanzang told me earlier to allow him, so it is okay. This second condition, I also allow you.
我供养你肉吃，供养你酒喝，啊，那么你说一说你第三个条件喽。
I offer you meat to eat, offer you wine to drink. Then you can say your third condition.
Again, this is the way that Master YongHua says is too colloquial, too friendly. You don't understand this. That if it were this story here, actually what really happened is that you're faced with this big emperor sitting on his throne, and you're kneeling in front of him. Okay, you're not standing, talking to him. Okay, and so he doesn't talk in this friendly fashion like Master YongHua says. So the emperor, when you see the emperor, you're supposed to be frightened. Okay. That's part of being an emperor, is that people are supposed to be afraid of you. If the emperor is unhappy with you for any reason, okay? He say, take him out, cut his head off. So it is. So you can see that one characteristics of this Guiji, his nephew here, is what? This guy is not stupid, right? He's fearless. He's negotiating with the emperor. And he knew on purpose he's asking for impossible conditions. So this guy really, the Chinese has the word 大胆, Da Dan. Da Dan. Has big, big things. It's a Chinese humor. You guys don't appreciate this. Oh well, it's a different times. So it's, all right, continue, please.
尉迟恭的侄子说第三个条件呢，我相信你不会许可的。 说出来你也不许可。
Yu Chigong's nephew said, "The third condition, I believe you will not allow. Even if I say it, you won't allow."
皇帝说：“那你说看，来，说出来看看，会对我许可你呢？”
Emperor said, "Then you can say it. Maybe I will allow you."
欢喜美女，所以呀、咱们他出家之后啊，
His third condition, because he liked women, liked beautiful women his whole life, so after he lived the home life,
也无论走到什么地方啊，必须要有一车美女在他后边来跟着他。
wherever he goes, must have a court of beautiful women behind him, following him.
It's not that bad.
没那么糟啦。
I don't really say anything. Does anyone have any questions? If we have no questions, we can let it go. Oh no! He's here to sabotage our Dharma. Yes, sir. Black.
Is he either trying to put everything as impossible as he can so he doesn't have to go? Or, like, this condition that he's putting is basically for him not to go? He's hoping that the king will say, no, okay, because you want these prostitutes or these women, I will not allow you to go because you don't have the, you're not following Buddhism as supposed to be, or I don't know, but that's what I feel.
Basically, he's asking for conditions that are extremely taboos for a left-home person. Okay. If Xuanzang, Tang Xuanzang, the monk who advises the emperor, were a Hinayana monk, he would have said no. No way. Okay, this is not totally not acceptable to the Hinayana because they're very rigid. They only they say that basically they say that there are some rules and conditions we cannot violate as a left-home person. You do that, you no longer are a left-home person. That's very Hinayana. Okay, yeah. So it is funny in a way, in a sense that he's asking for these things, but also it tells you that Mahayana. I mean, for Xuanzang, he's really Mahayana Bodhisattva. That's why he can deal with all these types of things. Okay. Yes, Black.
So the person that is requesting all of this, he's a bodhisattva?
I'm sorry?
The guy that was requesting all this thing was a bodhisattva?
They're both bodhisattvas. It turns
they're
out,
both of them.
Yeah, it turns out the nephew is actually a higher level bodhisattva than Xuanzang.
Okay.
So that's why Xuanzang was very happy. You know, he saw this guy, he says, if he can sit for 1,000 years, thousands of years like that, Xuanzang couldn't. So he knew he could count on this guy. So that's why he's bending a lot of rules to accommodate this guy. Go on.
So if he was a bodhisattva, why is he not following Buddhism as he's supposed to be? Or why? My question is more likely, why is he called bodhisattva when his actions are not correct? according to the laws of Buddhism. I think there's a laws, I don't know what they call it.
Maybe he likes to break laws. I don't know. You have to ask a Bodhisattva. Well, how would I know? It's something that we Buddhists sort of tell each other in an informal way. That is, like I alluded to earlier. You know, the Bodhisattvas, they do things their own way. That is beyond our comprehension. Okay, and it's called what? What is it called? I know you guys will not be able to answer this, but I'm going to give you a chance. What is that called? Huh? No? Anyone? Huh? Certifying? No? Internet people, I'd be impressed if internet people can come up with this. Okay? Tell the DR people to go look at all the Master Shirhua's teaching. Yes, sir. What is that called?
Wisdom?
Yeah. Almost there. Yes? What is it called?
Thầy, theo con nghĩ là Ngài đang kiểu như là đang thử thách ông vua coi có sincere muốn hoàn Phật Pháp không?
Yeah. Okay, I buy that, but it's we're talking about the Bodhisattva. Yes, Red.
Expedient means?
Expedient means yes. What else? What is it? Okay, back there. Okay. Green.
The rules are to some extent empty names.
The what?
The rules are to some extent empty names.
Empty names? Yeah. Intellectually speaking, yes. Anyone else? Come on, quickly. Time is up. It's called the middle way. It's not something the Hinayana and regular people would ever be able to understand. Hinayana is this narrow tunnel. Okay? A lot of people who are scholars, they read books and scriptures. Okay? They're all like this. Including a lot of Master Shirhua's disciples, like this. Because they don't understand the middle way. Xuan Zhang understands it. Okay? All right, we stop here. Time is up. Any final questions, please? You see, in a funny stories like this, very simple story, but actually it has a lot of hidden points here. That my master, this is a very famous story in Chinese Buddhism, Chinese Chan. And my master likes to talk about this. But the Chinese rarely discuss these finer details of why, finer reasons behind this story. So here in the U.S. Tonight we brushed up on some of these concepts, these subtle teachings that shows you the depth of Chinese Chan. Okay, thank you everyone. See you next time.